Hello YouTube, it's Zion here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we're doing another Kaiju number 8 chapter review. Today we are going to be talking about chapter 51. Now, let's get into it. The news segment today is actually pretty cool because we already have the release of the first volume of Kaiju number 8 in English. This is how it looks like. I already did a kind of more in-depth look comparing it to the Japanese edition that I own. So you guys can check that out. It's on the playlist, or you can just find it on my channel, or you can look at it up there wherever the card is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's cool. It's got color pages at the beginning, which is nice. And all of the little extra stuff that is added into the, to the Japanese edition through the cover and stuff like that are back here in the back section of the book. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that they didn't get rid of all of the little extras that come with the Japanese edition. So yeah, there you go. This is a big news segment here. Kaiju number 8 chapter or volume 1 has come out in English, and it looks pretty nice. I actually am growing on the fact that this looks kind of funky, but I kind of find that it's okay now. Once I got used to it, it's whatever. But I still would have liked some more kind of like more techie looking kind of vibe to it, but whatever, it's fine. And the other bit of news is, of course, that Volume 5 is releasing in Japan pretty soon here. So that's pretty cool. Now let's jump into the recap section here. Basically, Chapter 50 deals with Mr. Isao fighting number 9 as Kafka and Narumi try to rush towards wherever they are. Like, I guess that would be headquarters or something. And what happens is that Mr. Isao is trying to beat Kaiju number 9, but Kaiju number 9 is too strong, and he has to kind of do things that he really shouldn't be doing because they might kill him. And he chooses to do it anyways because he has this flashback and this kind of big growth in his resolve to try to kill Kaiju number 9 in order for his daughter Kikoru to be able to live in a world without this monster, right? And because Isao kind of remembers his wife telling him that she's going to train Kikoru, and so that she has to be kind of a harsh person to Kikoru, and that it's his turn to be like the caring parent, right? And what happens is that he doesn't do this because his wife dies, and so he has to become the harsh parent. And he realizes that he hasn't really done anything fatherly for Kikoru in his life, and so has decided that killing number 9 is the best thing that he can do in order to kind of repent for that kind of transgression, I guess. And it ends with him doing this kind of really badass Kamehameha attack into the heart of the Kaiju, and that's literally where we start. So let's get into the review and discussion section here. So chapter 51 has 19 pages, and they go by it like that. Like, seriously, I was reading through it and I felt like I flipped it twice, and I was already at the end of the chapter. So it goes really, really fast for sure. So picks up immediately after the last chapter when Mr. Shinomiya is like standing with his fist a little bit far apart, kind of closed like this against the chest of the Kaiju. And we kind of get a rehash of Mr. Isao wanting to get rid of number 9 for Kikoru's sake, right? And he uses what is called a directed energy attack, which is just a Kamehameha wave or a ki blast or something like that. Whatever you're going to call it. But of course, this is powered by the natural energy that Kaiju possess that is in his suit and his weapons numbers too, right? So that's kind of how it works. And he uses a directed energy attack, which is a Kamehameha. And he uses number 2's attack. It's like literally the same attack. And I can't remember what they called it, but it's like a specific attack name, which was kind of what was devastating Japan when Kikoru's mom sacrificed herself, right? So yeah, and apparently it's too much for the human body, which kind of makes sense. You know, humans are not built like Kaiju. They can only overcome so much stress before they kind of fail. Kaiju don't really have this issue. They can regenerate and kind of continue way further, way past these natural kind of barriers that humans can kind of have to deal with, right? But it's too much for his human body. But however, it does manage to expose number 9's core. But number 9 decides to evolve right there on the spot, and he starts to become this kind of like Dorama ball, like this kind of protective barrier around his core, trying to absorb this attack that Mr. Isao is trying to kind of use on him, right? And as this is happening, Mr. Isao decides to attack again because, might as well. Number 9 says that it shouldn't be possible, that a human should not be able to last this long. But of course, the greatest aspect of humanity is that we can push through anything. We have the willpower. We can do anything. This is very much exacerbated in manga and anime, where it's like they go way above and beyond, even beyond the natural kind of hysterical strength response that humans have, right? So it's kind of insane, but it's way too cool. It looks really, really awesome. Mr. Isao just started out as a really shitty character, like a really bad dad, but now he's like such an awesome character. I love him so much. I hope he doesn't really die. But yeah, there's a big explosion, and Kafka and Narumi like see it from the distance, and we get to see this really awesome shot of Mr. Shinomiya like using the attack, number 9 defending it, and then it passing through him anyways, and then it like takes down a building, like it just explodes a building. It's super cool, really, really badass stuff. And Kuzuru, his Mr. Shinomiya's assistant, his like analyst guy, is trying to see if Mr. Isao's alive, and we get to see this little shot of a drone that kind of is being able to pick up that he's alive there. Apparently he is, but barely, and number 9 is messed up too. Number 9 is barely alive. He's kind of just like a corpse, basically, like a skeleton with like his core in the middle, and but he's still working because number 9 is a kaiju, right? And he says to Mr. Shinomiya, if you had a kaiju body, I would have lost. Meaning that, Mr. Shinomiya, for as strong as he is and as powerful as his attack was, he still didn't manage to go all the way because his natural, strength was not enough. And he sounds like, I don't care, I'm still going to do one more attack as he's trying to, because he's basically dying, so he might as well. Right, and wants to attack again, but number 9 starts to absorb number 2's muscles, it looks like. Like he kind of reaches out to Mr. Isao, even though he's still kind of like a skeleton, and it looks like his flesh is growing again. But there's other kind of like flesh that is not the same color as number 9's, that is like absorbing something or kind of pulling Mr. Isao apart. And it's really kind of ambiguous to see what's happening. Like I thought that, Mr. Isao reawakened number 2's muscles, and so it's regenerating, and that's what's kind of coming out of his body. I also thought that it was maybe number 9 itself having like absorbing number 2's power, and so changing his body, but that doesn't, like, I can't really tell what's going on there, so I gotta wait till the next chapter to see, right? So yeah, there's another explosion. Kafka and Narumi finally managed to get there, and Isao is standing over a corpse, right? But his face is shadowed, and his back is kind of turned, so you can't tell if he's alive or dead, or if he's Mr. Isao or number 9. So yeah, really good chapter, really fast. It just went by super, super quick. There's a lot of stuff here. I feel like there's a lot of exposition about what humans can achieve, about what kaiju can achieve, and how there's like this natural divide. And of course, it's kind of foreshadowing that Kafka is really the future of the JDF, because getting kaiju to defect or kind of become human is probably the best way to combat these crazy like kaiju that are just wanting to take over the world. But we don't really know what the kaiju are trying to do. We just know number 9 wants more power, but what does that mean, and why does he want more power, so yeah, that's basically it. In terms of theories here, I have 3, and they have to do with Mr. Isao, so I kind of mentioned them already. But basically, I think Mr. Isao killed number 9 with an attack, but he died as well. And that's why when he's standing over the corpse, you can't really see his face, and you can only see kind of like him in profile with his back towards us. And he's just gonna be dead, but he's gonna be standing up because he didn't want to die on the floor or whatever, which would be really cool. It would be really badass. But I think it's too early to kill a character like Mr. Isao, because he could really be a meaningful like mentor figure for Kafka, right? So I don't think that it's the right time to kill Mr. Isao yet. But we'll see. It kind of might be meaningful and necessary in order to push Kikuru into, developing as a secondary character that is kind of part of the main group, because she kind of is already, but like she is kind of being balanced all over the place, and she's kind of like here for a bit and then goes away and then comes back for a bit. So I mean, maybe pushing her with her father's death might be better in order to kind of make her a mainstay of the team, right? So I don't know. The other kind of idea was that number 9 took over Mr. Isao. He kind of absorbed Mystery Sal's essence and then transferred into his body like we've seen him do before. I think this would be really good because it would kind of set up a lot of things, right? Like, so he would have to act like Mystery Sal. So he would still train and teach Kafka, but it would be kind of like a double-edged thing, right? Because he's trying to teach Kafka so that when he so he can kind of take over Mystery Sal's role, but also to kind of study Kafka's power because he wants to absorb it, which is kind of a kind of meaningful thing. But it'll also be really good because at the end of the day, he would learn a lot about the way humans work and the way humans are doing things. And of course, he would be able to kind of infiltrate them and take over and kind of make this much more meaningful kind of like traitor plot happen. But also, it would kind of suck because Kikoro would have to have that revelation that her dad's been gone and dead for a long time. And so that would actually be a really strong character moment there as well. So I think this might actually be a good way of looking at it as well. And the other situation here is that number 2 was reborn through all of this kind of energy output. It kind of reawakened because Mr. Shinomiya was using so much power, and it kind of fused with Mr. Shinomiya, and now Mr. Shinomiya is kind of like Kafka. I think this would be an interesting kind of plot twist. It might not be that great because it kind of defeats the purpose of Kafka being there, right? Like, if you already have Mr. Shinomiya and he's turned into a kaiju, why do you need Kafka, right? So maybe this isn't the right kind of path to take, but it would be a really interesting one. I would like to see how that works. But I don't know. I think those are the 3 theories that I had about what's going to happen next. However, I don't think any of them are very likely. I don't really know what's going to happen. The one I think is most interesting is the one where number 9 takes over Mystery Sal and takes over his life and kind of teaches Kafka and kind of uses the JDF as a learning kind of thing, right? So that's all I have. So we'll see what happens, and I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. See you guys later.